Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Kevin. If you haven't watched my channel before, I'm an avid Sims player. I've been playing my whole life, all the way back to The Sims 1. Now I've done a lot of Sims content over the years, so it's no surprise, as soon as the base game went free, I get dozens of comments hitting me up for advice on how to make your first house. Now I didn't get a degree in interior design for nothing, so don't worry, I got your back. Now when you start out, you're not going to have much money, so ideally, you just want a simple starter house. If you're building your own, I'd recommend starting with a basic rectangle or square, and then you can divide it up into rooms based on your family size. Personally, I'd recommend starting with a family of 8. This maximizes your ability to earn more money and keeps things fresh and exciting. I usually make about half of them babies because they require less micromanaging, and they make for good backups when your other Sims eventually die. I'd keep them a little bit far away from the house as they can be kinda loud and annoying. I like to give my Sims a certain amount of freedom, so I let them go wherever they want and then create rooms around them. You can then remove the front door. It's a great way to save money for the essentials and stomp out any potential escape plans. I nearly always recommend buying the cheapest product type available, so get your pen at the ready. I'll give you a few seconds because this part is really important. What do you mean you don't have a pen? Okay, write it on your phone then or something. Just get anything. You're gonna need a fridge, a cooker, and a countertop. That's about it. We don't need a toilet, but if you really insist, then I'd recommend buying a shower instead. Then your Sims can pee-pee, and if you've got the Digestive Disorders DLC, also poo-poo. But I will say, I've already looked through the strategy guide, and they can't die from any pee-related causes anymore. You might be thinking of The Sims 2 if you're an old school player, where they could die from embarrassment. Oh. But now, you're good, as long as you don't mind the floor being a bit wet and your morals are just that little bit flexible. You can forget about luxury endgame items like a sink or a burglar alarm. Remember, if you're following this guide, you don't have a front door anyway. Same goes for smoke alarms, but we'll get to that in a little bit. You may need a bed. I'm on the fence on this one, but I would strongly recommend sticking with one bed. The family will get used to rotating the usage. Sims are super adaptable when you force them to be. If they do give you any trouble, then either build a wall around them, trapping them into the activity you want them doing, or just disable free will overall. It's important your Sims don't start thinking for themselves anyway, and if the complaining gets too much, you'll likely snap and murder them all. Sims love bright spaces, so what I usually do is paint the whole thing white and fill it with cheap ceiling lights. Natural lighting, TBH, IMO, it's OTT. Avoid it. Spoiling your Sims with windows weakens their sense of accomplishment and their ability to work for what they want. Put in as many of those small ceiling lights as you can afford. I would recommend a minimum of 100. If you really pay attention to Sims talking, it's subtle. They're really stupid. They actually speak complete nonsense, and they mainly communicate through just body language alone. This window solution will allow them to communicate with each other while avoiding eating into our budget too much. It is, however, important that all Sims of working age have a way of working from home. Whether it's forced writing, forced painting, forced knitting, or forced hacking, maybe even forced content creation. And if you need to, you can take space from one Sim and give it to another. Elders are the most flexible regarding this workspace. You can just get them a job, immediately retire them, and then keep cashing those checks as long as you keep them on some sort of life support, which is just a fridge really. They can sleep standing up, they don't need ventilation, and no one really likes talking to old people anyway. For both fun and functionality, I recommend a basement pool. It serves as entertainment, an emergency escape, and a toilet. So whether your Sims are pissing or pissing you off, it's a great all-rounder to kill 2 Sims with 1 stone. Outdoor pools are dangerous anyway due to the possibility of freezing. In general, I cannot recommend enough that you never go outside. And in game 2, I would personally avoid it. The sacrificial basement pool is especially good for elder sims or children. They don't really have the stamina to keep going very long. And this is where the baby backup strategy I mentioned earlier comes into play. If you're not a parent or you don't know much about kids, don't worry, I got you covered. What I like to do is create a piss and shit room and essentially banish the babies to that room. It builds character. Look at me, I turned out just fine. Plus, this one comes straight from the official Sim strategy guide anyway. An extra step you can take to avoid having to care for the babies at all is to put the aging meter down so Sims age so fast it's almost cruel. Almost. Yes, your other Sims will die quicker, but you actually don't have to care for the babies at all at this point because they'll grow up before they can be taken away by social services. Another alternative is to have outdoor wilderness babies instead, where they can be raised by wolves or by the nanny, which you can call under the services section from your phone. Though beware, you won't get cell service inside your house anymore thanks to the anti-free will mast on the roof. A necessary item for sure, given the crimes against humanity going on inside. This is really basic stuff, but if this didn't occur to you naturally, The Sims may be too difficult for you, and perhaps another game would be a good idea. I'd recommend something like People Playground to get into the swing of things. The pool again serves an important purpose here, so we're actually killing 3 Sims with 1 stone now. Because if the Sim making the call to the nanny is a dirty rotten snitch, or carrying any other electronics that could be part of an escape plan, then they'll be destroyed in the pool. And make sure that each of the living areas are surrounded by flammable objects. The reason for this, if they do manage to make that call, or you can't help but be a goody two-shoes and you gave them a window and now all of a sudden your whole scheme is discovered because you didn't listen to me, even though I've been playing this game half my life, and the house can be burned down within 60 seconds. Don't worry if it takes longer at first, 120 seconds is fine for beginners. Honestly though, if you're struggling playing God, just make the house even smaller. Sometimes Sims can be a bit unpredictable and can find ways outside the house. Again, revert to your core gameplay mechanics here and just build a box around them. The value an outhouse brings to the house will always increase your resale value, and after starvation, when they go to the great outhouse in the sky, sell their urn for extra cash and to also destroy the evidence. Now the price of a Sim's life is priceless, but speaking from experience, even if the value is 0, you're getting a good deal just to get rid of the feckers. If you have the Sims 4 Sacrificial Stuff Pack, you can sprinkle the ashes in the pool to get the blessed moodlet. However, if you don't have the DLC, God does not exist in your Sims universe, and you may as well delete it. Once your backup babies have grown into useful tools for generating money, you can get luxury upgrades, such as a perimeter fence for extra privacy, a piss bush, or even multiple piss bushes, or babies themselves, which you can adopt from the phone and the social worker will just give them to you. No background check required. Occasionally, you can get one that's a bit troublesome. In that case, I usually just dress them in a hot dog suit, put them in a 2x1 room in the basement, and let them paint until they die. Then you can just start the process again and hope you get a better kid in the next lucky draw. When you're running low on Sims to adopt, but also running low on Sims in your household, congrats, you're doing great. It's one of the earliest goals in the game to get rid of these and create a society where no one is suffering for too long. So that's an awesome sign that you're getting the hang of things. To mix it up, you could always adopt dogs, which are about the same maintenance as an outdoor baby, or you can just start befriending Sims in the neighborhood and move them all into one lot. However, if it's too many mouths to feed, you can swap out their meals for pufferfish if you'd rather they just die instead of joining your household. You can really just start to feel in control of their pathetic little world. And while things can get a little bit messy, I don't think it's anything you can't put under control pretty quickly, even as a new player, as long as you follow my tips. You've got this, I believe in you. I am super excited for you to start your journey. So it's time to get out there and make your first house. If this was helpful, drop a like, leave any beginner tips for new players in the comments, and subscribe for more helpful gaming tutorials. If it's not helpful, you might just be a bit stupid, so maybe watch it on like 0.2 speed or something. Bye for now.